My beloved child. Before this day ends, something will begin shifting around your soulmate in a way neither of you can fully understand. What looks like an ordinary season is quietly becoming the doorway to a completely different future. Your soulmate has been carrying a feeling they cannot explain, as if an invisible force keeps guiding their attention towards someone they have never truly met. Stay with this message because every sentence connects to the one before it, and what is revealed at the end may completely change how you see the days ahead. The strange part is that your soulmate keeps noticing the same small signs again and again, yet they do not realize those moments are leading toward one unforgettable meeting. This is not about luck. It is not about coincidence. It is about two lives slowly moving toward the exact place where they were always supposed to cross paths. And just when your soulmate thinks nothing important is happening, a single decision will quietly start changing everything. Listen carefully, because this is where the mystery grows deeper. Your soulmate is unknowingly preparing for a major move. It may begin with a new opportunity, an unexpected invitation, or a reason that seems completely ordinary at first. But behind that simple change is someone whose life has already been transformed by success at a remarkably young age. This person has achieved more than most people expect in an entire lifetime, yet despite the wealth and comfort surrounding them, they continue searching for the one thing money has never been able to buy, a connection that feels real. For reasons they cannot explain, they have started believing that someone they have never met already exists somewhere in the world. They do not know your soulmate's face. They do not know their voice. But they continue feeling that their future is incomplete until that meeting finally happens. The distance between them is shrinking with every passing day, even though neither one realizes it yet. Something even more surprising is unfolding behind the scenes. While your soulmate is focused on everyday responsibilities, quiet changes are taking place that seem completely unrelated. A conversation will happen without your soulmate knowing. A door that was once closed will unexpectedly open. A location that never seemed important before will suddenly become impossible to ignore. Each event appears random on its own, yet together they create a path leading towards someone whose heart has been waiting with remarkable patience. This younger, successful person has turned away countless temporary distractions because they refuse to settle for anything less than genuine love. They have often wondered why they feel drawn toward a future they cannot see. The answer has been hidden in plain sight all along. Every delay, every unexpected turn, and every unanswered question has quietly been preparing both hearts for a meeting that neither could have planned on their own. Now hold on to this final thought, because the next chapter changes everything. The move is not simply about changing homes. It is about stepping into a completely different season where familiar routines begin disappearing one by one. Your soulmate will soon notice unusual moments that seem too perfectly timed to ignore. Faces that once meant nothing will suddenly become unforgettable. Places that felt ordinary will begin carrying unexpected meaning. And somewhere very close, the young person whose future has already been filled with remarkable success is preparing to make a decision that will bring their path closer than ever before to your soulmates. They believe they are searching for a destination, but what they are truly searching for is the person they were always meant to find. The question is no longer whether these two lives will move toward each other. The real mystery is what astonishing event will cause their first unforgettable connection. A quiet moment is approaching that your soulmate will never forget. What seems like an ordinary day will suddenly feel different, as though the air itself is carrying a message that cannot be ignored. Your soulmate will begin noticing that every plan they make somehow points in the same direction. Small delays will become unexpected blessings. Missed opportunities will quietly make room for something far greater. Don't skip, because the next few moments of this story reveal why every twist has been leading toward one extraordinary meeting. The young person whose life has already been shaped by remarkable success is also standing at the edge of a life-changing decision. They have reached a point where wealth no longer excites them the way genuine companionship does. Friends admire their achievements, but none of them know that every evening ends with the same unanswered feeling, that somewhere, someone is meant to complete the future they have been building. Without realizing it, that search is drawing them closer to your soulmate with every passing day. Then something completely unexpected begins to happen. Your soulmate starts hearing about a place they had never seriously considered before. It appears in conversations, invitations, and casual remarks so naturally that it almost seems insignificant. Yet behind that location is the beginning of a connection no one could have predicted. The successful young person is preparing for the very same destination, believing they are going there for entirely different reasons. Neither of them knows the other exists, but both are being guided by circumstances that fit together with incredible precision. Every choice made months ago suddenly starts making sense. Every disappointment begins revealing its hidden purpose. Stay till the end, because the next revelation explains why these two journeys have remained separate until this exact moment. If they had crossed paths earlier, neither heart would have been ready for what comes next. Another hidden truth is waiting just beneath the surface. The people around your soulmate will notice subtle changes before your soulmate does. They will sense a new confidence, a different kind of peace, and an excitement that cannot easily be explained. At the very same time, the successful young person will begin declining opportunities that once seemed impossible to refuse. Expensive invitations, glamorous events, and impressive introductions will slowly lose their appeal because their heart keeps telling them that something more meaningful is about to arrive. It is as though an invisible thread has been quietly pulling both lives toward the same moment from opposite directions. Every chapter of their past has been preparing them for a future neither of them could have imagined. The closer they come, the stronger that unseen connection becomes, even though neither one understands why everything suddenly feels so different. And just when it seems the mystery cannot grow any deeper, another surprise appears. Your soulmate will soon make one simple decision that feels completely ordinary at the time. They will have no idea that this single choice changes the direction of everything that follows. At almost the exact same moment, the young, successful person will receive news that convinces them to move forward without hesitation. Two separate decisions. Two different lives. One extraordinary destination. Neither of them realizes they are only a few steps away from the encounter that will make every delay, every unanswered question, and every unexpected turn finally make sense. What happens next will not simply introduce two strangers, it will reveal why their paths could never have crossed until this exact season, because the first words they exchange will begin a story neither of them will ever be able to forget. The distance between them is becoming smaller than ever before. Your soulmate still believes they are simply moving toward a new chapter of life, but they cannot see the incredible chain of events unfolding ahead. Every road they choose now seems to remove another obstacle that once stood in the way. At the same time, the young and remarkably successful person has started questioning every plan they made for the future. Something inside keeps whispering that their greatest achievement has not happened yet. It is not another business victory. It is not another celebration of success. It is meeting the one person who will make every accomplishment finally feel complete. Don't skip, because what happens next explains why both of their lives suddenly begin changing at exactly the same pace. A remarkable coincidence refuses to stay hidden. Your soulmate will unexpectedly hear a name, notice a place, or come across an opportunity that seems ordinary at first glance. Yet the very same moment, the successful young person will be connected to that exact detail from the opposite side. Neither realizes they are standing inside the same story from different pages. Friends will encourage one direction. Circumstances will quietly remove every other option. Even the smallest decisions will begin fitting together like pieces of a puzzle that has been waiting to be completed for years. The more they move forward, the clearer it becomes that their paths are no longer running separately, they are slowly merging into one unforgettable journey. Stay till the end, because the next discovery changes everything they thought they knew about timing. Then an emotional realization begins to grow inside your soulmate. They start feeling that life is asking them to let go of old fears and welcome something entirely new. Memories that once held them back begin losing their power. Doubts become weaker. Hope quietly becomes stronger. Meanwhile, the successful young person experiences the very same transformation without knowing why. They stop searching for perfection and begin searching for sincerity. They realize that the person meant for them will never be measured by wealth or appearance, but by a heart that brings peace the moment they arrive. Every lesson from the past suddenly feels like preparation instead of pain. Every delay starts looking less like rejection and more like careful timing. The future they have both imagined is no longer a distant dream, it is moving closer with every passing moment. And then the story reaches the edge of its biggest turning point so far. Your soulmate is about to receive an invitation that seems too simple to matter. The successful young person is about to accept an opportunity they almost ignored. Neither of them understands that these two separate choices are leading toward the very same place. Within that destination waits a moment so unexpected that both hearts will pause before a single word is spoken. The first glance will feel strangely familiar, as though they have been searching for each other far longer than either can remember. But the greatest surprise has not happened yet. Someone connected to the successful young person already knows a hidden truth that could change everything before these two souls even have the chance to introduce themselves, and that revelation is about to unfold. Everything is about to accelerate in ways your soulmate never expected. The invitation finally arrives, and although it appears simple on the surface, it carries a purpose far greater than anyone realizes. Your soulmate accepts without knowing that one quiet decision has just redirected the course of their future. At that very moment, the young and remarkably successful person is making preparations for the same destination. They feel an unusual sense of anticipation they cannot explain. Every achievement, every milestone, and every success suddenly feels secondary because their heart keeps telling them that the most important chapter of their life has not yet begun. Stay till the end, because the next revelation uncovers why this meeting could never have happened any sooner. Every delay protected this exact moment until both hearts were truly ready. A hidden connection finally begins to reveal itself. Someone close to the successful young person notices a change that has never been seen before. They have become calmer, more thoughtful, and strangely hopeful. The confidence that once came from success is now being replaced by quiet excitement about a future they cannot describe. At the same time, your soulmate experiences the very same feeling without understanding its source. Familiar places suddenly feel temporary. Old routines begin losing their meaning. New possibilities appear almost effortlessly, as though invisible doors are opening one after another. Neither person knows they are responding to the same unseen pull. Every step forward brings them closer to a meeting that has already begun changing them long before they even see each other's face. Then the greatest surprise so far quietly enters the story. The successful young person discovers something unexpected about your soulmate before they ever meet. It is not a photograph. It is not a rumor. It is a story about kindness, resilience, and quiet strength that reaches them through someone they trust deeply. Those few words stay in their mind far longer than they expected. For the first time, they stop wondering whether true love exists and begin believing it may already be waiting for them. Meanwhile, your soulmate unknowingly inspires hope in someone they have never spoken to. Every chapter of their life that once seemed ordinary is becoming part of a much larger picture. The distance between them is no longer measured by miles, it is measured by only a few remaining moments before destiny places them in the same place at the same time. Now the final piece of this chapter falls into place. Your soulmate is about to take one last step toward a brand new beginning, believing it is simply the start of a move into a different season of life. The successful young person is preparing for the exact same day with a heart full of expectation they cannot explain. Neither realizes that countless events, unexpected turns, and silent preparations have all been leading toward a single unforgettable encounter. But just before their paths finally cross, one unexpected message reaches the successful young person, a message containing a detail about your soulmate that changes everything they planned to say during that first meeting. Instead of a simple introduction, their very first words are about to become something neither of them will ever forget. The moment everyone has been unknowingly waiting for is finally close enough to feel. Your soulmate wakes with an unusual sense of peace, unable to explain why everything suddenly feels different. The world around them looks the same, yet every small detail seems filled with quiet purpose. A familiar road feels unfamiliar. An ordinary conversation carries unexpected meaning. The move that once seemed like a practical decision now feels like the beginning of something much greater. At the very same time, the young and successful person cannot shake the feeling that this day will be remembered forever. They have postponed meetings, ignored distractions, and cleared their schedule without fully understanding why. Something inside keeps telling them that if they miss what is about to happen today, they will regret it for years. Don't skip, because the next few moments reveal why both hearts have been guided to the exact same place at the exact same time. Then fate quietly removes the final obstacle. A delay that should have caused frustration becomes the reason the timing is perfect. A last-minute change redirects your soulmate toward a place they never planned to visit. Across the same location, the successful young person pauses for just a few extra moments after receiving the mysterious message that mentioned your soulmate's quiet strength and genuine heart. Those words have stayed with them ever since. They begin looking around with a strange feeling of recognition, even though they have never seen your soulmate before. For the first time in their life, success no longer occupies their thoughts. Instead, they wonder whether the person they have been searching for could already be standing somewhere nearby. Every second now feels heavier with anticipation, as though the universe itself is holding its breath before revealing what comes next. Without warning, the long-awaited encounter finally happens. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It begins with one simple glance that lasts only a moment but feels impossible to forget. Your soulmate notices something familiar in the eyes of a complete stranger, while the young and successful person experiences the same unexplainable feeling. Neither of them speaks immediately. Neither wants to interrupt the quiet certainty that settles between them. The first words are unexpectedly warm, carrying a kindness that feels as though it has existed for years instead of seconds. Every fear about the future begins disappearing. Every unanswered question suddenly seems smaller. The successful young person realizes that all the wealth, recognition, and achievements they worked so hard to build were never the destination. They were only preparing a life they hoped one day to share with someone exactly like your soulmate. But the greatest revelation has not arrived yet. As their conversation continues, both discover that their lives have crossed in hidden ways long before this meeting. Places they nearly visited at the same time. Opportunities they almost shared. Decisions that unknowingly protected this exact moment from happening too early. Every coincidence suddenly becomes part of one extraordinary story. Your soulmate understands that the move was never only about changing locations, it was about reaching the place where this connection could finally begin. And just as they believe they have uncovered the entire truth, the successful young person quietly reveals one final secret they have carried in their hearts since hearing that mysterious message. A secret that explains why, from the very first moment, they already felt certain they had finally found the person they were always meant to marry. The final truth is finally ready to be revealed. The successful young person takes a slow breath before speaking, knowing these words have been waiting far longer than either of them realized. They explain that the mysterious message they received was not about wealth, appearance, or accomplishments. It described someone who stayed kind when life became difficult, someone who kept moving forward without asking for recognition, someone whose quiet strength inspired people even when they never noticed it. From the moment they heard that story, they stopped searching for perfection and started searching for one heart. Standing before your soulmate now, every detail suddenly makes sense. The move was never an accident. The timing was never random. Every unexpected turn had been leading toward this single conversation. Stay till the end, because the greatest surprise is still waiting. Then your soulmate shares something they have never said out loud before. They admit that every major change in life always seemed to arrive after a season of uncertainty. Looking back, they realize every closed door had gently redirected them instead of stopping them. If one opportunity had worked out differently, this meeting would never have happened. If one journey had started earlier, their paths would have missed each other completely. The successful young person smiles because they have discovered the exact same pattern in their own life. Every delay protected something more valuable. Every disappointment quietly prepared them for this day. Suddenly, the pieces fit together with remarkable clarity. The future they had both imagined separately has now become one shared direction, built not on coincidence but on perfect timing. As the conversation grows deeper, another unforgettable moment unfolds. The successful young person makes a promise that surprises even themselves. They say they are no longer interested in building a life that only looks impressive from the outside. They want a home filled with peace, laughter, trust, and genuine companionship. They explain that success only became meaningful after meeting someone worth sharing it with. Your soulmate feels an unexpected calm settle over their heart, as though every unanswered question has quietly found its answer. In that moment, the excitement is not about riches or status. It is about discovering a connection that feels steady, sincere, and lasting. The future they both imagined separately is no longer a distant possibility. It is beginning with the choice they make together today. And so the story reaches its unforgettable ending. The move that once seemed like an ordinary life change becomes the first step toward a beautiful new beginning. The young, successful person extends their hand, not as someone defined by wealth, but as someone ready to build a future side by side with your soulmate. Both of them realize that the greatest gift was never money, success, or recognition. It was finding the one person who made every previous chapter finally make sense. Their journey proves that the most meaningful connections often arrive only after patience, growth, and unexpected turns have prepared both hearts. And as they walk forward together into the next chapter of their lives, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Sometimes the destination you believed you were searching for was actually